This is Stalking the Stubbs, day 3. So after a nice meal, a few beers in the pub in Blair Atoll, we needed to work out where we were going to camp, so we went back to the car park, found a little spot. It was dark, we didn't quite know what we'd wake up to, and luckily we woke up to quite a nice little spot after all, and decent weather. A lot of people camping nearby, which was kind of surprising, but would make sense later on in the day. Anyway, so we got packed. Ed and Andy waited for me to finish packing, as usual. And we got on the road. And then we got to the track, and it's a nice track, and we were going along the track, and all of a sudden we started to see quite a few more mountain bikers. And then one of them stopped just ahead of us, and we found out, in talking to him, it was a Cairngorms Loop independent time trial. So that's where all these other cyclists were coming from, and that's why the person the night before asked us if we were doing the race. And we weren't doing the race. So anyway, they were gone. But it's a beautiful track, as you can see. And obviously the view was amazing. So we kind of stopped at the top of the hill and got going again as soon as we could. Not as soon as we could, but when we were ready. We had a little bit of a break. Why wouldn't you have a break in such a beautiful location? Anyway, at this point I was catching the Stubbs. In fact, I was overtaking the Stubbs, and I think day 3 was starting to break the Stubbs. Not that I was gloating at all, because you don't want to do that, because it always turns out and bites you in the arse at some point. And he went past me again, slowly, because I wasn't moving, to be fair. Anyway, they're ahead again as usual. But just look at this scenery, look at the views, look at the weather. Here's 2 cunts on a bridge. Here's an old bike that nobody wanted. Oh, bit of weather coming in ahead. Bit of a detour off the track, back to pushing again. Andy balancing his bike for an insta moment. This is where Andy said he wanted his first poo with a view. Apparently he'd never had a wilderness dump in his life before. So I lent Andy my digger tool, and I risked life and limb going down this track on my own. I mean, obviously I could have fallen off and died and drowned, anything. I mean, look how steep it is. Anyway, as it happens, I managed to get to the bottom, and there's Andy bringing up the rear after he'd emptied his rear. Ready for another river crossing, or stream crossing. I guess this is more of a river than a stream, but we were getting used to these by now. And it was windy, very windy. And Andy had put his magic jacket on. When he puts his jacket on, the sun comes out. When he takes it off, the rain comes out. And we had a tailwind. One of those tailwinds that literally were pushing you up the hill. But just look again, this scenery was just... Simon, this was some of the best riding this day. Day 3 was probably the best day. More like my kind of riding, bit of gravel. As you can see, the weather's changing again. And changed again because Andy put his jacket back on. But amazing riding. And it's pretty much downhill as well, all the way towards Aviemore. Well, actually we stopped at the calf just before Aviemore, and it was open, which was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, sold beer. So it's not going to be as funny as the gallon, Andy.
No, because we've not just been on the piss for the whole time. Just the last 4 hours.
It says full kit wanker. Shows your cottic, Andy. Go and get your cottics out.
That's like a sleep tattoo. Keep me warm because it's a bloody cold.
Drink your beer. It's that lovely weather out there.
Keep it
Oh,
going, keep it going.
steady. More beer.
We've run out of glasses. We understand that.
Andy, I've sent you a message on Facebook.
Thanks. It's okay. I've got it. I've replied to you. Can
How,
you check?
how did you know I got it?
Well, because I saw your phone bleep and it's about a foot away from me.
Well, I've just got your message, but I know about that. How did I know, Ed?
Is that next to you?
What a
Oh,
twat.
let's have another 6 pints.
And still the beer comes. Oh, it's dark outside. Anyway, we had to find somewhere to camp. Where are we now then? Any idea where we're going, Andy? Ed navigated us to a beautiful car park with a picnic table. So we pitched our tents. And that was it for the night. Day 3. I think a hangover was pending for day 4. Which I'll get done as soon as I can.